Welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a reading breaking down the Universal Year 7, which will be for 2023. We're gonna start with what the Universal Year 7 is asking of us from the collective point of view. And then what I'm going to do is, and this is probably going to take some time, but I'm going to break down each personal number within the Universal Year 7. So, if you're interested in that, know what your personal number is. And how you figure that out is you take the day you were born plus the month you were born, add that together, bring it down to a single digit. Oh, I mean, you don't have to at that point. And then add the 7, the Universal 7, to your birthday and your birth month. So, example, my birth month is a 9, September. My birthday is the 13th, which is a 4. So you add that together and then add the 7. When I bring it to a singular digit, it is a 1. So I'm going to be having a personal year 1 in a Universal Year 7, and honestly, I'm excited about that because I feel like I'm like ready. Like, what am I going to be bringing to the world? Means that I've just ended a 9-year cycle. So that's another way to look at it. So again, know your personal year numbers, birth month, birthday, no year. Don't add the year in. Your year. Birthday, birth month, plus the number 7. Bring it to a singular digit. If it lands on a master number, 11, 22, or 33, leave it there. It just means that this is a year that 2023 is a year that you're truly meant to master something. Also, your life path number. But we'll get into that another time. So right now we are looking at Universal Year 7, 2023 for the collective. What do we need to know? What can we know? And then we'll break it down from there in other readings. We're going to use 4 different decks. This is going to be a longer reading, so buckle in. Buckle in. Alright, we're going to use 4 different decks. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot for our clarifiers. We're going to use our Mother Mary Oracle deck as always. I don't know that I would do a reading anymore without her. I just love her in our readings. Our Words of Wisdom. We're going to use the Angel Tarot as an oracle, just to, take just a few, whatever wants to come out, and put that with Mother Mary. And then for the main spread, we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot. So, let's go ahead and begin. Let's start with Mother Mary. Everything's pre-shuffled, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shuffle or two. So let's talk about, while I'm shuffling, Universal Year 3, Universal Year 7. It is a spiritual year, no doubt. It is represented by the Chariot within the Tarot. It's a time when you are thinking more deeply, like you're going deep. And I don't mean like I still have to do this work. It's not even about that. It's just about you're going deep, because I feel like that is where you're going to receive your messages, and I feel like you're going to be receiving them from your higher self or your spirit guides. And I feel like when you go within, they're going to be very clear this year. So you want to kind of clear your own energy. Focus on deeper spiritual truths. That's really where you want to put your focus. This is a year to channel your inner world and listen, truly listen to the messages. This is a very connected time. Very connected time. Great year to do yoga, meditation, anything that can take you within. I'm just telling you, you're going to receive messages. What else do I want to say? This is a time to ask questions and then probe deeper. Ask and then probe. Don't accept just the surface answer, because again, got to go deeper, okay? So probe, ask, and then probe. You're finding the root is what you're doing. This is also a year when the energy is slower, but it's meant to be that way. It doesn't mean it's unproductive. I have a feeling this is going to be a very productive year. I also have a feeling this is a year where many people are going to begin their spiritual businesses. Whatever that may mean to you. I mean, spirituality can be used in so many different businesses, but I feel like the root of the business is spiritual. So if you have something like, on the back burner, this may be the year. What else do I want to say? This is awakening desires within you. You're realizing there's more to life. There's more to life. And then take on a goal. If you don't already have one, a great year for that. So, understanding Universal Year 7 a little bit better, let's go ahead and begin your reading. If you already know your personal number or your personal year number, that's great. But if you don't fret. Alright, we have boundaries. Boundaries. I am clear and honest with others about my expectations. Boundaries. Let's bring in the Angel Tarot. I want to thank one of my subscribers for giving me the name of this deck. This is one of those decks that just, I swear, magically appeared, and I couldn't deny it. I didn't know the name. They just appeared on my bookshelf over here, my white bookshelf, like right on the edge, and I'm at that bookshelf all the time, and for some reason, there they were. So, I took that as a sign. Alright. I'm running out of room. Okay, well, we have the Hermit. First of all, Major Arcana. Perfect. I feel like this is just the perfect energy to come out for this year. The Hermit. That's exactly what the Hermit does. It is looking for spiritual truths. Let's read it though. Time spent in peaceful meditation and meaningful solitude. Shine your light as an example to others. Seek out or become a spiritual mentor. Self-discovery. Hello. Just feels like the perfect card at the perfect time. It is a card of Virgo, but we're not really looking so much at that. We're looking at energy. We're reading energy. Boundaries and the Hermit. Alright, let's bring in the Light Seers. Give it a couple shuffles. There we go. Alright, let's give them a cut. And let's get into the tarot portion. Before I go on, I do want to let you know, because I am going to put this out before January. I am running my special. And listen, I never run specials. But I decided, just because I know people are hurting. So I'm doing $30 off a personal reading, or a buy one, get the second half off. You can give that as a present. You can keep both yourself. I don't even care. Whatever you want to do with it. And again, this is like, I don't know that I've ever ran a special. Well, I'm sure I probably ran them, but very seldom. So I wanted to let you know about that. Also, I do have a membership program. All the details are right below, and I'm only mentioning that because Tier 3, we go live, and you can ask any questions that you want. You can ask as many questions as you want, time permitting. Why am I saying that? I don't know. I feel like it's just another avenue of, finding clarity for yourself. There's 3 different tiers, though. So, that's all below. Okay. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to shuffle for our cards. Wow, look at that. The Magician, number 1. Some of you may also have personal year 1. This is about creating, though. I feel like the Magician is the Fool's greatest teacher. And we're always the Fool, right? It's our journey, where we're heading. The Magician teaches the Fool that everything that you're going to need on this next journey, you already possess. This may be another reason why, going deeper. We have the 5 of Wands. 5 of Wands. Well, first of all, it's a 5, so it speaks about change. And this may be why I'm doing this reading early. So 5 of Wands speaks about a lot of ego. It speaks about people battling each other. I feel like there's never a victor in this energy, because it's the energy of where no one wants to back down. And maybe if no one's backing down, maybe the Magician is about moving myself out of that energy. Because I feel like I feel like sometimes it's the only answer. Because it's so ego-based, and because really nobody wants to back down, it's like, even if I'm looking for an apology here, or someone to say, you're right, I'm wrong, chances are it's not going to happen. So the Magician would know that. And I don't feel like the Magician would keep oneself in that energy. Well, let's see what else we got. Well, we have the Lovers. Interesting. We are now in the year of the Lovers for 2022, moving into the energy of the Chariot, the Lover's neighbor. The Lovers is really about a head over heart decision. And it's funny because you have the 5 and the 6 is 11. Look at this, another 5. Okay. I feel like the end of this year is about clearing up what I can clear up. I feel like if this is relating to love, and with these 2 5s next to it, it doesn't feel right at this moment. 5 of Swords tells me that communication is probably not good. And I feel like, it's energy that I can get drawn into, but it feels like a lower type energy. So I've got to be aware of that. So 2 5s, 2 changes. It's funny because I just did a reading called Twin Flames / Soulmates in a universal year 7, and it is all about the spiritual connection between the lovers, any lovers. So I feel like these 5s are saying, well, if I want the best out of next year, out of 2023, then it's imperative that I look at these 5s. Ego, communication that is not good, that lands in my mental house, like, even though it's around the lovers, right, which is normally something that we want to see, right? It talks about chemistry. Listen, sometimes things come at the wrong time, or we're not ready for them, or they're not ready for us. Doesn't mean that it can't come back around, especially if it's a soulmate or a twin flame type energy. I know this from my own life. You know, I've been with my twin when I was young, and it didn't work out. Well, 40 some years later, we are now back together, living together. So, and so unexpectedly. You know, be ready to roll with the changes. But I feel like, above all, trust yourself this year, 2023. I want to make that clear. All right, well, we have justice. Some of you may have gone through divorce. You may be asking for one. This could be the cutting of ties. Doesn't have to be a divorce. But it is about cutting of ties. These ties are what you would consider unfair to you. They are not bringing you balance. You know, when justice shows up in a reading, it is about making you, the one who's watching the reading, whole again. At least feeling whole again. Is a card of Libra. Well, look at this. Temperance. Beautiful. Temperance. I love temperance in a reading. I just do. First of all, card of Sagittarius. But this is about divine timing. This, you know, temperance speaks of patience. Waiting for something to come to full blossom, let's say. You know, I often feel temperance is mixing that perfect recipe together. And if I try to rush her, well, she just might leave out the sugar. And I don't want that. I want the sugar. Temperance. Let go of the things that you cannot control. And don't try to control them. If you know that you know, especially because it's coming under that Five of Wands, again, kind of aggressive type energy. And it's maybe I just can't control. I cannot come out the victor in this energy, according to whoever it is I'm fighting with. Now, you can come out the victor, but I feel like that's what the Magician, the number one, you, what it's talking about. Okay, with the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups, unexpected love, unexpected fulfillment. You know, that's the one thing about this night, is it's unexpected, which means I can't really plan for it. Well, let me put it a different way. I can plan for it, because if I think about where my own vibration is at, well, that's what must meet me. So in the Magician, that's what the Magician is doing, right? I'm creating through all the tools that I have, not just through this lifetime, but through all your lifetimes. It's filling your spiritual power and creating from that energy. And I feel like, you know, listen, this Five of Wands and this Five of Swords is definitely lower energy, a lower vibration. It's humanness is what it is. But it's still part of life, right? So it is, you know, and Temperance always feels like that balance to me. So is Judgment. They're both about that balance. So I feel like here, I wasn't ready. They weren't ready. it wasn't ready. We weren't ready together. But now Temperance is saying love is coming in. Maybe judgment justice is much more important than what I thought, because the cutting of these ties within the 5, and that's exactly what 5 asks you to do. Look at it and then make the change gracefully, as gracefully as possible. Well, with Temperance here, I feel like that alone gets energy moving again. And when it's not just about cutting out, it's understanding it. Understanding it enough so that, and why am I saying that? Well, because let's say somebody comes back in and they carry the exact same energy. Well, chances are you'll end up in the exact same place again. I feel like for a few of you, this is talking about a lover who I feel that you may have thought, well, they're the only one for me. Again, this would be love that's not working out, though. It's not turning out the way you thought. And I feel like Divine is saying, doesn't mean your love life is over. Maybe just with that partner at that time. And I'm saying that because I feel, I often feel sometimes we give someone a title that maybe they don't deserve, like a twin flame, right? So then I think I have to work my whole life to bring me and this twin together, and it's not about that, right? It's about each individual working on themselves, working on their own vibration. And when if you're twin and you are meant to come together in this lifetime, you'll even work out eventually those difficult energies. I know that they can be worked out because I've done it myself. Now, but I also feel like it's the saying, I have to be careful that I didn't put like all my eggs in one basket and think this is the only person for me, because I feel like Divine is saying, oh my dear, but that's just not true. Look at this Chariot. Well, this is 2023's card. It is a card of Cancer, by the way. I find it interesting that it's mirrored by Justice. So it could certainly be saying, once I cut the ties, once I need, let's look at it a different way. If I'm fighting to be right and it's just not happening, I gotta let it go. Because chances are what I'm fighting to be right about won't make a difference later in life. And vice versa. Because again, the communication seems so difficult. We have the Four of Cups next. Four of Cups is all about using your spiritual discernment as it relates to a cup coming in. Four of Cups speaks about inactivity, though. Kind of like daydreaming. Maybe I want something, but I'm not putting a lot of action behind it. Maybe I just wanted to come and land in my lap. Divine's like, but you gotta be ready. Like, what if we just put it in your lap? But yet, all the energy from before, the confusion and my thought system being screwed up due to other people and the thoughts that were put in my head, that then, it's like even a lie becomes a truth if you tell yourself that. I just got to be proactive in my own life. I feel like some of you have thought about cutting ties. Again, it doesn't just have to be love. But I do feel like some of you have been in that energy of like questioning whether you should cut ties. And even when I say cut ties, listen, it doesn't have to mean like I'm cutting ties forever. But I know what I don't want here. Or maybe I need to know what I don't want. I feel like that's what these fives are about. They're teaching you the kind of life you don't want to have versus the kind of life that you can have. The Chariot. Often feels a reward. And I feel like the reward comes because of balance within. The balance of our masculine and our feminine. The balance of our light and the dark. We carry it all, right? There's an opposite to everything. The Chariot is really figuring that out. But I feel like the most important thing about the Chariot is it's a lesson, or you have learned that it is your mind that controls this Chariot and where it's going to go. And you have to remember, the Chariot is unlimited potential. Unlimited. Only thing with the Chariot is I can be resistant. And if I am, it has to do with this Five of Swords. I love that the Chariot, though, is coming right next to the Knight of Cups. I feel like some of you, this Lover's energy, it's almost like I'm seeing the Lovers as two different relationships. I'm seeing it as an early relationship where things are not working out. Things are difficult. Things are hard. You know, can it be saved? I guess if both people are willing to save it. But here, it's quite the opposite. Now, and that's why I feel like I want to be careful that I don't give someone a false title. Listen, this can be a soulmate, no doubt. But not all soulmates are meant to last forever. Some are, and some aren't. You know, they're like predestined, like I'm meant to come in for this period of time, or you're meant to come in for a period of time. And, you know, I also feel for some, like when I'm in this angst almost, there may be someone else who shows up. Again, unexpectedly. We have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, to me, is a repeat pattern. It's taken dagger after dagger after dagger after dagger after dagger in the back. So much so that I just expect these daggers. And therefore, they show up. You went from the Five of Wands to the Ten of Swords. So I feel like for some, it may be saying, again, I hate to say there's no hope in a relationship, but this feels like beyond, like too difficult, too much. And in the Ten of Swords, it feels like you're taking the brunt of it. You're taking the swords, being stabbed in the back over and over again. How long are you going to allow that to happen? With the Four of Cups right next to it, I'm just accepting it. I often feel the Ten of Swords is about submission, like I've accepted that this is my life, but that is not true. Well, I guess it's up to you, especially with the Magician as the first card. Alright, I don't know if I'm going to take all those. I don't know, I'm not. I think we should look at them though. We have the Sun. We'll put him over here. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new year. It's brand new opportunities. You know, the sun illuminates everything. Nothing can hide when the sun is out. Nothing can hide. The sun is about living through the inner child, enjoying your life. You know, it's day to day, it's present moment energy. We have the Emperor, card of Aries. Some of you, I feel like this is about business ownership. Listen, I feel like this is some difficult energy right here that ends up in really the most difficult energy in the Ten of Swords. However, in the same breath, because I feel a lot of people are going to be starting spiritual businesses or adding to their spiritual businesses, the Emperor would make perfect sense because he is the business owner. He, she is the business owner, the leader of the people. How can I lead people? Well, I lead them because I've been through it. I've been through it. The Hermit, becoming the light to others. Well, the sun, that is the light. Well, hello, Nine of Cups. Wow. Interesting, because I feel like this is you loving your life. You know, it's interesting because I cannot love my life right now. But this is saying all that can change. This is a year to put you first. And I don't really mean in an egotistical way, so to speak, but it is a year to put you first, to go after those deep spiritual quest. With the Seven of Swords, with the King of Cups. So this king may be carrying some untrustworthy energy. This could certainly be, we could tie this king back to the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords, because you're not alone in that energy. And maybe, you know, maybe there is someone, a King of Cups, I feel like would speak about love or a relationship. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like someone has done you wrong. Do I feel like they're going to change? Not right now, I don't. Do I feel like you're going to change? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, and let's take what's on the table. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, you guys, I should have brought this down a long time ago. I'm sorry. Eight of Pentacles. Well, you're creating from this energy. You know, the Eight of Pentacles, its meaning is being willing to walk in or to begin something as the apprentice, with the understanding or the knowing, maybe it's a spiritual knowing, that you will one day be the master. If you're here with a master number, know that. Like, okay, I'm meant to master something this year. Eight of Pentacles. If I put my focus on my pentacles, on my creativity, on my spiritual business, it's going to grow. And then the Wheel. Destiny. Destiny. Things are moving. Things are changing. Old energies being eliminated. Old egotistical type energy feels like, or for you, I feel like you're thinking there's no room for it. Like, I'm not making room for it in 2023. You know, I feel like when the Wheel shows up, it speaks about all the experiences within a reading. Not just the good ones, but also the hard ones. And it tells me that truly I can learn from this. I often feel God uses us for our experiences to help others, to give them a hand up. I feel like this Knight of Cups is not only about love, but I also feel like it's about love of something that you're doing, love of something that you're creating. And I feel that in your creative house, by the way. Like just allowing it to sing, trusting yourself, trust your gut, trust your gut. Okay. Well, look at this. Synchronicities with the Hermit on the bottom of the deck. You know, don't even think about like, oh, I have to be a Virgo to be the Hermit. That is just not true. We're all the characters. Just at different times, we're using different energies. Well, the Hermit, twice now. You know, I can use myself for an example because I am finishing a 9-year cycle and I am moving into a personal year 1. Some of you, I feel like you're following suit. You may have, you know, you may, that may also be you. Okay, let's keep going. Let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. And let's go over this. Let's go deeper. Deeper if you dare. You know, that's what I love about a long reading is I feel like we can go deep. We can break it down. And then we can clear or eliminate what's no longer serving us. You know, if you, and I'm not putting down people who do quick videos because I get it. But if I don't see the lessons within something, am I doomed to repeat it? And that's why I do long readings. Because I want to bring you not just, oh, look how beautiful what can be, but how do I get there? How do I claim it? Why does everybody else have it but me? Probably living within those 5s. That ends up turning into the 10 of Swords. Okay. Look at that. We have the Magician over the Magician. It did show in reverse. I'm not really reading reversals. I don't like to read reversals in really when I'm working with numerology. But I can't help notice it's in reverse. We're going to keep him that way and figure out why. Well, I already know why. If you look down, what's mirroring it is the 4 of Cups, inactivity. I'm being inactive in my own life. I have dreams, but I'm not chasing them. Not that you even have to chase them. You just have to take a step into them. 4 of Cups, I'm not doing that. Maybe I don't think I have the ability. And maybe that's why you need to go deep, because you do. Listen, we all are spiritual beings. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience. We don't feel that a lot of times. That's why I try to remind you as much as I can. All right, let's keep going. We have the Strength card. Leo. You know, Strength card to me is, it's learning how to tame the beast within ourselves. This is, first of all, it's a number 8, right? Number 8, yeah. I don't know why I know that. But 8s are about a new beginning. But it is really taming that part of yourself that, you know, it's like that gets me in trouble. That keeps me in drama. You know, can even be my words back. When I'm hurt, I attack. You're trying to protect yourself. Like we all understand, we've all been there. And, it doesn't mean that we're eliminating it, because, again, we have both parts, right? The lion, the king of the beast. But this girl has tamed this lion. And now they walk hand in hand. She's become like, or he's become like, the lion's become like her protector. 8 always ask for a new beginning. But this is allowing oneself to heal and overcome and know oneself. It is about oneself when you look at an 8. Coming right over that 5 of Wands. Hello, 10 of Pentacles. Coming over the Lovers. Listen, I don't know if I've already said this, but I feel like the Lovers is twofold. I feel like the Lovers is old energy, but I also feel the Lovers is new energy. I'm saying that because under the Lovers is the Knight of Cups. And again, this lover that's giving me all this trouble, this is the one I feel like I'm cutting ties with. But then when I cut ties, I feel like just through natural... Now listen, first of all, when I cut ties, I'm cutting ties because I'm understanding that it does me no good to keep being pulled into the drama. Listen, if this is a relationship that can be saved, then I hope it can be saved. But everybody needs to be willing. Now, let's talk about what I feel like is new. And I do feel like it's a lover. And I feel like how you're meeting this person is through your House of Pentacles. Whether it means on the job or through something that you're creating. Someone who is somewhat on the same page, let's say. Or of the same vibration, of the same thinking. Doesn't mean we think exactly alike. But we are more alike than we are different. And I'm talking about spiritually. 10 of Pentacles is a very abundant household. It's a house of stability and loyalty. It's a house of generosity. If I have more than I need, then I give. And that is just the natural way. Alright, we have the Queen of Wands coming over this 5 of Swords. Well, Queen of Wands can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But let's talk about the Queen of Wands, because coming over the 5 of Swords, I could see the Queen of Wands like, fighting back. I can definitely see that. I can see, listen, I feel like the Queen of Wands, I either stay or I go. This is not someone who I don't feel would go the whole way to the 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Swords, but maybe I did. This is the Queen of Action. This queen listens to her gut. This is someone who actively pursues her desires. Listen, and it doesn't always work out. But I feel like when I get to the Queen, I know that. I've learned that. So this Queen, I feel like, would move on from something that is not working out. And then we have Judgment. Well, Judgment is your spiritual team. Here for a reason. They're calling you to the present moment. Why? Well, because that's where your signs are at. That's where your miracles occur. In the present moment. That's where your guidance is at. Always. Not just this present moment, but the next present moment and the moment after that. This is a call to attention. I need you. Your spiritual team. I need you. Coming over justice. Again, I feel like cutting of ties. You know, it's interesting because I'm looking at these two magicians, right? One in the upright, one reversed. Yet, the strength card looking right at the one in reverse. So it's almost like I've got to learn that I do have the tools that it takes to create whatever it is I want to create. Now listen, I may again just be taking a baby step into something, but that's all I need to do. And I feel like you'll just be guided. You'll be guided. So your spiritual team wants you to understand your power in creating your life. You know, what seeds you plant today is what will be your harvest in the fall. And I feel like these two fives, these are the seeds that I keep planting, well, the Ten of Swords is my harvest in the fall. I don't want that. And I don't want that for you. Judgment wants your attention. Temperance right next to it. Call to the present moment, and then temperance is an energy of patience. You know, we've worked a lot out up here. Wow. I was just going to say, let's see if it paid off. Because I feel like if you're willing and your eyes are wide open, this is the ability to see what's not working, who's not working, even if it's what I thought that I really wanted, but it's just not working. It's just not working. So I overcome that. I understand my part in it. I understand that this energy has really stopped me from creating the type of life I want. Your spiritual team is like, but we're here to help you. Cut the ties that aren't serving you. Temperance, patience. Sometimes the patience is on us. Temperance, I'm waiting for this energy to change so that I can bring you what's new. That's what judgment's about. To the present moment so that you can receive. Wow, what are you receiving? Hello, Ace of Cups. Listen, I feel like this Ace of Cups is representing everything. Not just love of a person, but love of what you do. Love of the people that you may find are new in your life, but they're not really new, like soulmate type of energy. But I mean like in friends and in partnerships and in just my everyday world. I can't help also that someone is linking up or connecting through what it is they do for the world. Ace of Cups. Two of Wands. Coming over the Knight of Cups. You know, maybe I would have said no before this, before I understand how hurtful these fives are in my life and how they do. You know, listen, again, I feel like definitely the ability to learn from them, but also to learn about oneself. I think that's probably the most important part. Again, Five of Wands, I can't control these people, but I can control myself. Two Wands. Coming right over this Knight of Cups. You know, it's interesting too because Temperance, which I read as divine energy, divine timing. She's bringing out the Ace of Cups, who's sitting right next to this Knight of Cups, which is all about unexpected love coming in. This Knight is responsible to bring you a cup. Well, here it is. And I feel like you are saying yes. The Empress, beautiful. Why? You know, when I think of the Empress, I think of all that she is. I think of all the experiences that she has gone through. You know, she has lived the lives of all the queens. You know, I've been through it all. I've had the highs, I've had the lows. But the one thing the Empress has done is learned how to grow from it all. She doesn't carry negative energy with her. This is someone who is loving, has not allowed life, and listen, this may have taken time, but ultimately comes to the place where she no longer allows life to make her hard and cold. Quite the opposite. I'm not going to block my opportunities due to past energy. Very creative. This is someone who receives epiphanies and then puts those epiphanies in place. Perfect energy for Universal Year 7, the spirituality of it all, the spiritual businesses that you're beginning. And I have to say, for some of you, you may be making an announcement. You know, you may be having a baby. I think this would be a good thing, though. The Empress is coming over the Chariot. Wow. The Empress understands about mind control. And I'm saying control. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Using my intentions. She gets it. It is my intentions that drives this Chariot. I'm ready. In the Empress's energy, I am ready. And listen, if something comes towards you that's of a negative nature, she's going to feel it. Because the one thing, probably the most important thing that the Empress has learned is energy. Her own energy. And to trust what she feels, right? She doesn't need to put walls around her. She's that in tuned with her intuition. Listen, doesn't mean like, I get it. Like the first sign that comes, like, boom, I get it. No, maybe not. But the Empress would be like, can you send it again? And you guys will be like, yes. I feel like I'm taking my good old time, but I also feel like that's what's being called for. Okay, let's keep going. Wow. I keep saying wow. First of all, the Six of Swords is coming over the Four of Cups. So, Four of Cups. Anything that comes towards you, it's trusting in your own spiritual discernment. But also the energy of inactivity, right? Like, I have dreams in my life. I just haven't gone after them, or haven't gone after them lately. Six of Swords shows me that you're cutting those ties that no longer serve you. It is like freeing yourself. It really is like freeing yourself. It's not a promise that everything will just instantly change and everything is instantly better, because it does talk about choppy waters that you go through, but these choppy waters are very, very temporary. It's just adjusting to what will be the new you. Free and clear of the swords. I think that's wonderful. Also, coming over Justice. I can't help but think these ties are being cut. All right, let's keep going. Okay, we've got a lot of cards, but we're going to take them. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. We have the Sun again. Now the Sun is directly over the wheel, directly over your destiny. Listen, if I was at the bottom of the wheel, this is you moving to the top of the wheel. But what happens first? Healing. Healing of the mind, the body, and the soul. But also of myself, my own actions, my own reactions. This is what I'm learning in the Four Swords. It takes time. But listen, I also feel because it's coming over the Eight of Pentacles, you're teaching others. You're helping others. And then last but not least, the Two of Cups. A soulmate. Definitely, if you have not watched the Twin Flame / soulmate reading I just did, definitely watch it because it was beautiful. Like, I just loved it. And now that we have the soulmate energy connected right to the Sun. By the way, Sun is a card of Leo. This puts the most beautiful light on these soulmates. I feel like there is just no doubt. There is no doubt. And remember, this year, 2023, is all about the spiritual connection. No wonder it's a soulmate. Let's go back to the Six of Cups. I feel like this is just, I don't feel like this is someone new. I feel like this is someone old. And I do feel like I really wish something would have worked out. But at the same time, I just don't feel like it did. Now, again, doesn't mean it can't come back around. Doesn't mean that someone won't have a spiritual awakening and a spiritual understanding. This is the year. But I'm not going to wait. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to create. I'm going to blossom. I'm going to trust my own spirituality. I'm going to trust my spirit guides. They're going to be very strong this year. So I do feel like this is someone that maybe I'm letting go of. Now, in the same breath, and I know it gets confusing when I do this, but I feel like I have to. I also feel like this is talking about a soulmate of a past life. Alright, let's just see what else came. The Hierophant, card of Taurus. It's about your belief system. And it asks you, are you living it? Are you living your true belief system, or are you living someone else's? Four of Wands. Wow, hello. Marriage card. Commitment. You know, what's the difference between the Four of Wands and the energy that's up top? Everybody wants to be here. This is like a pure type of love. This is the kind of love where, I don't know, I just could not imagine not making a commitment. But everybody wants that commitment. To me, it is ultimate love. Wow, and I like it next to the Hierophant. It all makes sense, right? It's like a spiritual love. Well, hello. The Lovers again. And I think that's what I was feeling. I feel like this lover is part of something old, though maybe I thought that it's something that I had to stick with and stay with because of, I thought they're my twin, or I thought they were my soulmate. And again, it could have been a soulmate, could have been a twin, but the energy is not working. The Lovers, right next to the Four of Wands. The World. Come on. The next chapter. Well, the next chapter is 2023. Some of you are making your ultimate commitment as it relates to love in 2023. You're finding that ultimate partner, whether it be someone you already know or someone brand new. Doesn't even matter. It's about both these people's vibration. The World. You've heard me call it the most spiritual chapter of all of our lives over and over and over again in readings, because that's what I feel. It's the closest energy to God. Well, we have the Hierophant that is mirroring it right now. This is a much higher type love. It's a higher way of living. And I feel like in your whole life, we have the Three of Swords, and then we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, well, here comes that Knight. Oh, look at that. He's connected to the Two of Cups now. We have the Three Swords, which is connected to the Four of Swords. So you're healing this broken heart of yours. And I feel like it's the healing once and for all, because there's no room for it, for what wants to come next. What a beautiful line, but what beautiful cards. I simply got to turn this Magician upside down, or upright, right? And that means believing in myself again, understanding that I'm creating from this moment, in the present moment, and that's what's going to determine my harvest. I can't control another, but I can control myself, and I can raise my own vibration, which I know so many of you have. And this is the payoff. This is the payoff. This feels like very abundant within your creative house. And again, the more spirituality you use in whatever you're creating, and that can just simply mean, I feel like epiphanies, ideas, signs are going to be plentiful. Plentiful. Follow them. Follow them home. Two of Wands tells me that you're willing. You're willing to partake in this Ace of Cups. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like I thought I knew love. I thought I knew love. But this feels like I didn't know love until I met you. Now, I truly know what love feels like and is meant to be like. These two, again, very like-minded. The Lover's right beside him. Yes, that can mean a twin. But it's really the chemistry between these two. It's almost like they, I almost feel like it gets to the point where we complete each other's sentences. This is what's moving into the next chapter. Now, is that a guarantee? No. And I say that because I feel like if these fives aren't looked at and dealt with, then unfortunately I feel like that energy will follow. Is that what I want? I don't think so. It's interesting because here's the Knight of Cups here, and what's right beside him? The Ace of Cups. He did his job. He brought in the Ace. Here is the Knight of Cups here, and now we add another Ace to that. We add another cup, and now we have two. The Two of Cups. Your soulmate. Just as I feel like it's meant to be. All right, I'm going to read boundaries. Boundaries. Since God doesn't make victims, this card asks you not to act like one in any way. This is a message of self-empowerment. Instead of blaming others, convey your expectations and true feelings to them. Stand up for yourself, even if you risk conflict and confrontation. You can ask God, Jesus, and Mother Mary to guide your words so you maintain your boundaries from a standpoint of love instead of fear. Others will respect you for being assertive, and you will respect yourself more too, because you're treating yourself lovingly. And then I want to read the Hermit one more time for you. Time spent in peaceful meditation and meaningful solitude. Shine your light as an example to others. Seek out or become a spiritual mentor. And self-discovery. I think that is a peek at 2023. That is a peek at the Universal Year 7. Next will be your personal year. At least I'm going to try to do this. Your personal year in 2023. So your personal year in a Universal Year 7. That's why I really want you to know your personal year number. Again, birth, the day you were born, the month you were born. That's it. And then add that to the Universal Year 7. If it lands in a master number, 11, 22, 33, leave it. Any other number, bring it to a singular digit, a 1, a 2, a 3, whatever it is. And that is your personal year within this year. All I want to do is arm you and to give you as much information so that you can know yourself and therefore be true to yourself. Not everything works out the way we want it to work out, but that doesn't mean we should give up. Matter of fact, this is the opposite of giving up. All right, I think I'm going to leave it there so it's not too long. But Hermit, the Hermit. Look at that, the Ace of Pentacles under the Hermit. Wow. I think that's great news because I feel like for like spiritually based businesses, this Ace of Pentacles is coming in to help you. You know, it can be like money, but I often feel it is the way. It's what allows something to take root. Ace of Pentacles. Well, we have the Ten of Pentacles there. Can it go there? Why can't it? Why can't it? Whatever I focus on is what I'm going to grow. I love you guys. I thank you for just allowing me to put out different types of videos. Not all are received well, but I know that many of you do receive them well, so I appreciate that. I'm only here to try to help in any way I can because I look at you as my soul brothers and sisters. I mean, you are. So, all right, I'm going to stop talking. I love you guys. I will see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.